Jesus says there is someone whose name you've tried to forget, someone whose memory clings to the corners of your mind like a soft echo that refuses to fade. And no matter how many days have passed, no matter how strong you force yourself to become, there are moments, quiet, sacred moments, when the thought of them breaks through your strength like water through a crack in stone, and your heart whispers, "Why haven't they come back?" You didn't know it, but even in their silence, even in the void they left behind, I was watching the threads that tie your soul to theirs, and I tell you now, that silence was not the end of the story. It was an intermission written by heaven. There's a contact coming, a moment when their voice will return to your life unexpectedly. And though it may feel like chance, I promise you, it is not. It is not a coincidence. It is not random. And it is not the result of earthly circumstance. It is the unfolding of something I ordained long ago, in a secret place where your heart first whispered their name in prayer, and I listened. You may think they forgot you. You may believe they replaced you. But what you don't know is that I have stirred their spirit countless times, prompting dreams of you, flashes of your smile in the middle of their chaos, reminders of what your presence once brought into their life. They try to move on. They tried to bury the pull they felt, but heaven's hand was not finished with their role in your story. And while you were healing, while you were growing, while you were wondering if you had been erased from their heart, I was working behind the scenes, shaping the circumstances that would lead them back. Not for closure, but for purpose. This isn't about romance alone. This is about redemption. This is about divine timing. This is about a connection that was paused, not ended. A connection that carries weight in the spirit realm. I saw how you prayed for their safety, even when they hurt you. I saw how you asked me to protect them even when they disappeared without explanation. I saw how you cried in the dark, asking me why I let them go when your soul still felt tied to theirs. And now I tell you, my child, their return is not an accident. It is not a test. It is an alignment. You are not imagining the strange feelings lately, the sudden memories, the dreams that feel too real, the chills when you hear their names spoken. These are spiritual tremors, signals that something in the atmosphere is shifting, that what was once lost is circling back to you for a reason beyond your understanding. But do not be afraid. This will not be like before. This will not come to destroy you or confuse you or reopen wounds that I have already healed. It is coming to fulfill something, to clarify something, to deliver something. And it is not arriving on your schedule, but on mine. You have been faithful through the silence. You did not curse me when the waiting felt endless. You kept walking even when your soul limped from unspoken heartbreak. And because of that, I am now releasing an encounter that carries my fingerprints, my timing, and my signature. Do not overthink it. Do not panic. Do not let fear interpret what only faith can understand. When they reach out, when their name flashes across your screen, when their words hit your heart like thunder, remember this moment. I told you it was coming. I told you they were on their way. And I have made them restless until they fulfill this piece of the promise that was spoken over both of your lives. No, it won't look like it did before. No, it won't follow human logic. But I do not operate according to the patterns of this world. I am orchestrating this return because there are things you still need to know, truths that need to be spoken, and a mission that involves both of you in ways neither of you has yet seen. So breathe, my child. You are not foolish for still feeling the pull. You are not weak for still caring. I place that softness in your heart, and it will not be in vain. When the message comes, when the call comes, when the knock at your spirit arrives, I need you to pause, not panic. I need you to listen with discernment, not judgment. And most of all, I need you to remember, this moment was not built on chance. It was written in divine ink before either of you knew what pain or separation was. It was always going to circle back, and it starts now. Jesus says, you don't yet see the full blueprint of what I've been constructing in secret. But I assure you, nothing has been wasted, not your waiting, not your tears, not your confusion, not even the distance between you and this person that once made you question everything. That silence was not divine neglect. It was sacred incubation. What you thought was delay was me preserving something delicate, something fragile, something not yet strong enough to carry what I destined to be born between you. You cried out, "Why didn't they come back sooner?" But if they had returned before I refined them, it would have broken both of you all over again. I know what you don't. I know the pain they still carried, the guilt they hid behind silence, the temptations they hadn't conquered, the pride they still clung to. I saw it all. I saw the moments they hovered over your number and didn't press call. I saw the messages they wrote and deleted. I saw the restless nights when they felt drawn to you but too afraid to face you. You thought they didn't care, but child, they were fighting a storm inside that I would not let near you. I was protecting your peace by withholding their presence. And while they ran from me, I was still speaking over you. While they silenced your voice in their life, I turned up the volume of heaven in yours. Because you needed to remember who you were without their validation, so that when they return, you won't forget again. You needed to be rebuilt in me, so you wouldn't crumble when the past knocked on your future's door. And now the season is changing. Their heart is being turned like a river toward the truth, toward accountability, toward the place where they left something pure behind. The guilt is no longer comfortable. The silence is no longer safe. The running is no longer possible. I am orchestrating a collision between their soul and the truth, between their pride and their purpose, between their memory of you and my voice calling them back. They're waking up, and you, my beloved, are no longer standing in the same place where they left you. You've grown. You've risen. You've learned to pray with authority, to walk in peace, to discern energy, to set boundaries, to heal wounds, to call out lies, to rest in me instead of relying on their presence to feel whole. You are not the same, and that is exactly why this return won't be a repetition. It will be a revelation. But listen to me closely now. This is not a romantic fantasy being fulfilled. This is spiritual business. This is about destiny. This is about an open door that carries eternal consequences if ignored or misunderstood. That is why I've allowed strange signs to keep showing up. Their initials in the most unexpected places. Songs that were once your songs. Dreams that leave you waking up with your heart pounding. All of it is spiritual residue. Fragments of the divine message I'm preparing to unfold. And they feel it too. They may not tell anyone yet, but they are being haunted by conviction. They're being drawn, not by obsession, but by purpose. They're starting to see that no matter how far they wandered, something in their life is still missing, something that felt alive when you were near. And the truth they buried is starting to rise through the cracks of their hardened heart. It is time, and when they contact you, because they will, it won't be a casual hello. It will carry spiritual weight. Their voice will shake, not because they are afraid of you, but because they will feel the holiness of the moment. They will sense it in their spirit, that you are not just a chapter in their story. You are a mirror to their calling, and walking away from you meant walking away from part of themselves. They may not know how to say it. They may fumble. They may hesitate. They may even pretend it's about something small, but you will know. Your spirit will feel it. Heaven will confirm it. Because I don't bring back what I've buried. I resurrect what was never meant to die. This is that moment. This is what the delay prepared you for. And no, you do not have to accept them blindly. But you do have to listen with heaven's ears. You do have to discern with your spirit and not your scars. Because what comes next, child, has the power to shift timelines, break generational cycles, and awaken gifts in both of you that could not rise until this divine moment of reconnection arrived. Do not rush. Do not fear. I will guide your every response. And remember, this is not the end. This is the activation of something far greater than what you thought you lost. Let your heart be still. You are not being tested. You are being trusted. Jesus says, child, this final part of the message is the one I've been waiting for you to receive with an open heart, because while I've already spoken to you about the return, the signs, and the invisible threads still connecting your soul to theirs, now I need you to understand the why. Why this person, why this timing, why this moment is so sacred that all of heaven has paused to watch you choose, not just with emotion, but with alignment. This isn't a chance encounter. It's not just an emotional reconnection. It is a divine reweaving of a thread that was never cut, only stretched through the corridors of time to be mended at a higher frequency. You are not meeting the same person who left, and they are not returning to the same version of you either. You both have been refined by fire, and while it felt like abandonment, it was actually an invitation to grow in opposite directions until the time was right to come back with deeper roots and a cleaner soul. You have cried long enough over what was taken, and now I want you to rejoice over what is being restored. Because this reconnection is not about romance, it's about remembering. It's about remembering the purpose I placed between you two that was misunderstood the first time, mishandled the second time, and now finally is being revealed in divine clarity. This connection carries weight in the spiritual realm. It carries healing for others, restoration for family lines, and revelation for hearts that forgot that my hand can rewrite what others declared finished. This is why the attacks were so heavy, why the confusion was so loud, why the separation was so painful, because the enemy feared what you two could become once you were aligned not in flesh, but in spirit. I had to let the lies fall away, the pride be broken, the illusions of control be shattered, so that only the truth would remain. And that truth is this. I have chosen this moment to awaken something in both of you that can no longer sleep. This person will not come with perfect words or flawless timing, but they will come with a humbled heart and eyes that finally see you the way I always did. Don't let fear trick you into closing the door. Don't let bitterness make you miss the beauty of this unfolding. And don't expect everything to be explained all at once. I am moving through mystery, and I am asking you to trust me more than the outcome. Their return is not the end. It's the opening of a sacred path that was hidden until now. But be wise, my beloved. Not every apology is repentance, and not every message is the one I sent. That's why you must stay close to me, letting me filter their words through your spirit. I will give you dreams. I will speak confirmations through strangers. I will surround you with peace if it is truly from me, and unrest if it is a counterfeit. Because I will never let what I authored be confused with a distraction. But hear me clearly now. This contact is part of your story's resurrection. It will not look like the old script. It will not repeat past cycles. You will know it's me because your soul will feel still and your spirit will feel light. The war you fought in silence, the nights you stayed awake praying for clarity, the years you questioned if you were even worthy of being seen, all of that is about to be answered in one divine encounter that shifts you from hoping to knowing. You didn't imagine this bond. You didn't cling to a lie. You held on to a thread of destiny, and now I'm weaving it into something new, stronger, purer, more aligned. Heaven is not confused about what belongs to you. And though this person had to take the long road back, I allowed it so they could learn what you already knew. True connection is not measured in distance, but in spiritual recognition. This moment you're about to step into is holy. It's prophetic. It's not a return to what was. It's a divine unlocking of what will be. Welcome it without fear. Honor it with discernment. And walk forward knowing this. Every delay was a setup. Every tear was a seed. Every silence was a shield. And now, my voice is louder than the past, declaring over you both. This was always meant to be. The story is not over. It's just beginning. And this time, child, the ending will be written with glory. There's something you need to hear right now, and Archangel Michael is not whispering it. He is standing at the edge of heaven, sword drawn, voice thundering through the spiritual realms, urgently reaching for you before this moment passes and something irreversible unfolds. He's been trying to get your attention through the dreams that keep coming back, the chills you feel when certain names are spoken, the strange coincidences that don't feel like coincidences at all, and that sudden heaviness in your spirit when you're around a particular person or about to make a certain decision. This is not paranoia. This is not overthinking. This is divine interference. You're not being punished. You are being protected. There is a battle you cannot see, but you are the target, and heaven refuses to let you walk blindly into a trap that has been carefully disguised as an opportunity of reconciliation, a blessing, or even a romantic spark. The truth is, something or someone around you is wearing a mask, and while your heart is longing for clarity, you've been dismissing the inner alarms because they go against what your emotions crave. But Archangel Michael sees beyond what you can feel. He sees the energies, the contracts formed in secret, the intentions laced with envy, the spirits that follow certain people and enter rooms before they do. He sees what that message really meant. He sees what that apology is really attached to. He sees what that invitation, that opportunity, that gift is truly hiding beneath the surface. And now, he's issuing a final warning, not to scare you, but to awaken you. You have come too far to be pulled back into cycles that God has already broken. You have healed wounds that took years to close. You have stepped out of patterns that tried to enslave your spirit. And now, just when your breakthrough is so close you can feel it trembling behind a veil, the enemy is sending something that looks like resolution, but carries the seed of regression. Archangel Michael says you must not ignore the signs this time. You must not explain away the gut feeling that something is off. You must not open that message just because curiosity is louder than caution. The moment you give access back to what was divinely removed, you create spiritual cracks that darkness can slither through. This is not about guilt. It's about wisdom. You're not being dramatic. You're being spiritually sensitive, and that's exactly why this message found you today. You need to pause before responding. You need to listen before moving. You need to ask heaven to reveal the truth, even if it breaks your heart, because a broken heart can be healed, but a misstep right now could delay your purpose, your peace, and your divine assignment. Archangel Michael has shielded you more times than you realize. He stood between you and betrayals that never reached you. He's deflected attacks that should have destroyed you. He's rerouted storms that were scheduled to hit your soul. And now, with all the love of a divine protector, he's telling you, this is the final redirection before you walk into something irreversible. The thing you're being drawn toward, the person you keep thinking about, the message that keeps lingering in your notifications, the decision that feels urgent but rushed. Pause. Heaven is screaming pause. Don't mistake pressure for purpose. Don't confuse timing for alignment. Not everything that returns is meant to be accepted. Some things are tests, and the more evolved you are, the more subtle the tests become. This one was designed specifically to target your softest spot, your kindest instinct, your deepest longing, because the enemy knows where your light lives. But Archangel Michael is reminding you now, your light is not naive. Your light is not weak. Your light is not obligated to entertain what makes your soul feel heavy. And no matter how familiar something feels, if it steals your peace, it's not from God. Don't confuse history for destiny. This time, you must see with spiritual eyes. You must feel beyond emotion. You must trust the discomfort because your discernment has been trained for this very hour. Michael's sword is drawn not against the person or opportunity itself, but against the deception attached to it. And his hand is stretched toward you now, not to stop your joy, but to preserve your promise. This is your moment to choose wisely. Heaven is watching. The next steps you take will echo louder than you know. And you're not alone. You are never alone. But you must listen. You must feel. You must obey. The warning has arrived.